How are you all doing? Jean, Motivation, Sunise, Jazzy, Danny Baby, Aqua. Thank you for all being here. Bear with me 1 second and we'll get started. I'm good, Danny. How are you? How is everyone? I've got my new little intro just to make sure everyone has time to notify that I'm live and come here. So I hope that was good for everyone. It feels like it's been a while since I was last here, but it was only one day. So we will get started on the readings. As usual, pop your like in the chat. Thank you so much for everyone who's done that, and have your question ready for when I call you. If you would like something slightly more in depth and a Q jump, there is the 3, 5 or 7 card readings. Link is in the pinned comment. Yeah, I feel like it's like a Monday after the weekend, but I'm all over the place. It's Thursday. And for those interested, I am using the Guardian of the Night tarot deck today. If you do want an oracle card, an oracle reading with the Urban Crow, please just drop that alongside your question when I call your name. So Jean, if you want to pop your question in and we'll get started. Energy check for work, promotion, new job. Awesome. Okay, I have a job. Thanks for the context. Okay, Spirit, what's the message for Jean regarding work and career, please? Ooh, we have the King of Wands, Jean. So the King of Wands is actually a leadership position. Okay, so if we think of the king, this is someone who has, it doesn't matter about gender here when we pull these cards. It's a very established energy. So if we think from the ace to the king, obviously the king is at the most sort of progressed and at the end of that journey. Now the King of Wands, I feel like we've seen this Wands energy come up for you before as well, Jean, about pushing forward and taking action and opportunity. So I see this as an opportunity coming towards you of leadership. So I don't know if you have an inkling about a promotion within where you are, but this tells me that you would be good in a leadership position. I don't even know if you have a team already, but this is somewhere that I see you being comfortable, and this being, if you're not already there, this being a next step. So if that could be where you are now, or something definitely for you to start looking at, because this tells me that you're very capable. King of Wands is a natural born leader. They have this ability to inspire others, which is this really important skill as a manager, I believe, as someone who can level up and be a team leader, for example. Like, you have to be able to inspire others to get on board, and what this corporate term of like buying in, but buying into wanting to work for the business. You have to get people on side and inspire them. And I see you having that ability, Jean. So something to lean into, to push on to the next level. If it's not going to happen, if you don't see it happening where you are now, then look elsewhere. I feel that's what Spirit is saying, to go for it. You would be good at this, and you have that ability. So if you're not already doing it, then push for that position. Yes, exactly. This happens so many times, Jean, and sometimes this has happened to me in the past as well. This personal experience of just obviously work outside of this, when you're actually doing a manager position, but they won't officially give you, because they don't want to give you that paycheck, yeah. And sometimes I have found that it is, obviously do what you feel comfortable with, that it does take going elsewhere sometimes, because they'd rather hold on to you, get more time out of you on a lower pay, doing the work of a manager. And sometimes we have to go elsewhere to get that validation. Yeah. So generally, when those I've found, Jean, you might have as well, and others who've experienced this, they'll keep you there. It's not however hard you work, however good you perform, they'll just keep you there for as long as you can. And so it could be better time to start looking elsewhere for that kind of role, if possible, and seeing what else is out there. Okay. So, motivation. If you want to pop your question in the chat, please, motivation. Thank you. So I've got, just so we know where we're at, guys, we've got motivation, Sunise, I want to say, and Jazzy. So that's the next three. So if you can have your questions ready for when you called. Thank you, motivation, awesome. What blessings are coming my way with Smith and I together in love? Update, he's joining me at my gathering. Oh, beautiful. Okay, let's see what's ahead. That's great motivation. Great to hear. Okay, Spirit. Please bring a message regarding motivation and Smith. Let's see what's coming. Interesting. Seven of Pentacles. Okay, so this is about, Pentacles is all about positive progress, okay, and movement. Now, just remind me, is there history here, motivation, or is this something new? Because Seven of Pentacles is about taking a moment to assess and take a step back and look at how far that you've come. So this could be in past relationships, if this is a new connection, and looking back and kind of seeing what's worked and what hasn't, and being really quite particular about that. Okay, so it sounds like a small thing. You do have a little history. Okay, so take what resonates with this. If you feel like it's between you two, or it could be where you're both coming from, as in what are you bringing to this relationship, your past experiences in love connections, etc., etc. And Seven of Pentacles is about being very mindful about, in order for this to work, motivation, in order for this to progress, you are renewing, you need to like do what worked, and be mindful not to, this sounds simple, be mindful to do what didn't work. Now that's easier said than done at times, okay, but it's something about what I'm feeling is like not bringing baggage or insecurities into the way forward, because what comes next as well is the Eight of Pentacles after the Seventh. So I feel like the will and the good intention is here from you both. You both want to make this work. You both have the intention to commit to this, okay? Work it out, work it through. But there is something important about being, just mindful to leave those issues and problems as much as possible, or at least have the self-awareness to, when those triggers come up, not to become reactive. This is a fresh start for you, motivation, an opportunity for you both. So be strategic, be cautious, and be self-aware. And this absolutely has the potential to work out, and has the foundation of something very genuine and true. So I hope that resonated for you. You told him that, awesome. And then maybe on your side as well, with regards to, so you'll know how to take that message anyway. Maybe it lies more heavily with him, that needing to leave old habits behind. You're welcome, motivation. So we have Sunise. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing that right. Sunise, and then Jazzy Dreamer, if you can have your questions ready. And anyone who, if I call and you're not here, I'll just skip, just so everyone aware of that. Just keep it moving and read for people that are here, for both of you, okay? All the best with that gathering though, motivation. That feels obviously a positive movement forward there. Sunise, please, I want to know feelings Slobodan about you. Sure thing. Are you in a connection, Sunise? Are you in no contact? Is this something new? Just so the more context I have, the more personalised reading that you can get. But let's have a look at Slobodan's feelings. No contact. Thanks, motivation. Nine of Wands. At the minute, okay, so Nine of Wands is someone who wants to see this through. Okay, Sunise. So they want to see this through. Someone who, like, if you've had difficulties, if you've had, obviously if you're in no contact, that would suggest that you have had troubles, difficulties, arguments. It's almost feeling, this card energetically can be feeling quite worn out. But still, nonetheless, even though feeling a bit weary and a bit worn out, still up for the battle, still up for another round to try to resolve this. Because what comes after the 9 of Wands is the 10. And this is when you can get closure on difficulties, being able to put burdens down. So at the minute, it's like it's like battle weary, this card. Feeling a bit emotionally beat up about this situation, Sunise. But I still see them that they do care. They are, Wands is about our heart's desires, emotions. So I feel quite a stressed energy from them as well. But despite all these difficulties, despite feeling stressed and wanting peace, wanting resolution is really where they're coming from. So if you're, obviously, I'm assuming that you would like reconciliation and to resolve this. And I do see that they want that too, despite feeling pretty burnt out. I mean, you might feel like that as well. But yes, they want resolution too, and are up for working this out. Because really in their heart's desires, this is something that they still feel quite strongly about and are passionate about. It gets them fired up, with it being Wands. This is the element of fire. So take that how you will, as in what steps you can make towards reconnecting, resolution. The timing might not be right now, Sunise. But trust your intuition on that. But there's more to come on this connection. Hey Judite, hey Kelly, Monica, thanks for joining. So Kelly, I don't do yes, no questions like that. I can do an energy read when the time comes of your question regarding our man. So Kelly, if you can just read the pinned comment if you want a free reading. You're welcome, Sunise. So, Jazzy Dreamer, are you here? And for anyone new here, I'm an energy reader. I look at the energy between you and a person, you and a situation. I don't do yes, no questions. I'm Jazzy, are you here? If not, I'll move on. And if I call your name and you're not here, guys, I will skip. So just pop your like in the chat, Kelly. If you just read the pinned comment, it's the white banner at the top of the chat. If you want a free reading, awesome. Okay, so no Jazzy. So we've got Danny, baby. Danny, if you want to pop your question in the chat. A card for my personal growth. Thanks, Danny. I don't know if I'm at peace or if I just don't care. God, yeah. Nothing bothers me. Good question, Danny. I can relate sometimes to that, yeah? But sometimes are you numb? Or is this inner peace? Sometimes it's hard to tell, isn't it? Let's see what the cards say. Spirit, a message for Danny, please. When I realise something will upset it, I just change my perception of it. You're not numb. Okay, that's good. Queen of Pentacles, this is you, Danny. I think this is reassuring energy, very much so, okay? This is, Danny, this is stability, okay? Like you say, I used to be so emotional. And there's nothing wrong with being emotional at all. I'm very pro emotion, okay? But Queen of Pentacles has that groundedness, okay? She's someone who, just like you say, how you've managed to gain some control here, you get a feeling of being thrown off emotionally. This feels really powerful shift, actually. And you're able to control that really now. So not to be overwhelmed, not to be reactive. So this is some kind of level of inner peace and groundedness, and that you can have that ability now to change your perception and have control over that, which is pretty amazing, actually. And the fact that you've obviously said you don't feel numb as well, so that's like you're not spiritual, what we call, if anyone's heard of spiritual bypassing, I'm sure you guys have. And it's that kind of toxic positivity, yeah, when people, oh, everything's fine, everything kind of happens for a reason. And you know, it's really, to me, much more complex than that. And it's okay to admit when we're in pain and that something is difficult and painful. But the Queen of Pentacles isn't doing this at all. She's able to feel what she's feeling, process that. But this is the level of groundedness, Danny, that you've been able to achieve. You bring that Queen energy, and the trust, I think, that you feel, that resonates about the progress that you've made, but about that kind of abundant feeling, that trust of feeling that the money will come, the love will come, you know, the good stuff is coming, that abundant energy. Yes, not so ashamed to have challenges in life. So true. Yeah, we're so sort of told that we should be ashamed, shouldn't we? We're taught that very much. So this is very reassuring. Just, I feel like, just keep, with regards to spiritual guidance, it's just about keep doing what you're doing, lean into this, keep embodying that Queen of Pentacles, keep moving forward with that. And it's a wonderful grounded energy. It's like you've found this stability that you can build on. It is so much of life challenges, you know. I think a lot of us are told now, it's assumed that it should be easy, particularly, you know, in the West. We're told that, you know, it's all easy and it should all work out, and that if anything's going wrong, we're doing something wrong. And what you're feeling, it feels like, is that grounded and abundant energy flow that you're in. So beautiful reading there, Danny. Really beautiful, sort of reflective of where you're at. And I think encouraging, there's nothing, you know, just keep leaning into that. and you know, so much good will come from that Queen of Pentacles energy. It's just about being consistent, isn't it? Hey Janavi, you've just booked a 7-card reading. Awesome. Okay, I will just check. I don't think it gives you in PayPal the opportunity to pop your... Oh no, it does actually, to pop your question there. So guys, if you just give me one moment, you're very welcome, Danny. Janavi's just booked a reading, so this takes priority. So I'll just, Janavi, check your question and then we'll get started. Yeah, consistency, Danny, exactly. It's like harder than So Janavi, it looks like, am I right, you've booked a 5-card reading, not 7? I just want to check. That's what I've received. I just want to cross-reference that with... and I've got a 5-card reading because I see in the chat you put 7, but I've received payment for 5, Janavi. I'm just checking that that's one. Bear with me one second. I'll get started on that. All right, I'm just, bear with me one second, I'm just reading this question from Janavi and I'll be back. Okay, I've got a question there, Janavi. Okay, cool. So I've read the question in full, Janavi, so let's get started. I know it's about taking it all in, so let's see what the cards say, okay? But we're looking at, in essence, a lot about guidance, really, if you should move on from this. Okay, Janavi, take a deep breath, center your energy, and be open to receive the messages from Spirit about what you need to hear on this situation at the moment. Oh, can't get that right. Major Arcana. So this is giving us an overall view of the situation, okay? And this is the Hermit card, which is all about, this is you feeling isolated at the moment, I believe, and really being forced to be in this period of solitude. And you're still really in that process of gaining insight, because the Hermit is about shining a light in the dark on a situation. So really kind of doing that inner work, maybe still searching within yourself, Janavi, about what it is that you want. Because I know the 3D is very contrasting to what you want, but there seems to be some insight that has not yet revealed itself for you. In this situation, like, it can be very difficult when energetically you're still very connected to someone, to really connect to anyone else. If you're looking to a new relationship and to break free from that, it's like that energetically isn't happening at the moment. Not to say that it won't, but it's just giving us an insight here, starting off with, that you've been forced into this period of isolation and solitude, but there is something to be gained from this, and there is knowledge and insight, this represented here by this illuminated moon. The challenge position, so I'm going to look at his energy and her energy as well, and then future guidance. The Four of Pentacles is about holding on to something tightly. And then maybe there's some kind of security in holding on to this desire. Now, when it said with this card, okay, it encourages us to take more risks to get what we want. But I actually feel like that you're in the process of doing that, in trying to make this move, Janavi, okay, to make this change, because I feel like whatever the outcome further down the line is, okay, that you're shaking things up by doing this. So you practically are doing the steps, because this card asks us, the Four of Pentacles, to not hold on too tightly to this kind of security that we do have, but we need to kind of shake things up in order to allow abundance and success and our desires into the situation, okay? I'm just going to pull one more card for clarity on that, because I feel like you're doing everything that you can to, I don't feel like that you're, it could be, I mean, this, I need to get clarity on this, because this could be Akshay's energy, that energetically that he's holding on to you very tightly. Spirit, why the Four of Pentacles? Thanks, Tia Bia. I will do that after Janavi's reading. Thank you. Death, Major Arcana, about transformation. A deep transformation is happening. Are you someone, Janavi, who normally holds on to security and doesn't make bold moves. I know before in the past that you've said that you are very cautious. So I'm wondering if this situation is breaking you out of that and pushing you in directions that you wouldn't normally go in, with this death card of a deep transformation. So even though it's been incredibly kind of difficult and painful, it's also pushed you into, like, maybe you wouldn't consider making this move, maybe you wouldn't make these kind of much more dynamic choices and break out of your shell in a way. That's what strong, powerful connections like this can do for us, yeah? They can really break us out of our shells and change us on a deep level. His energy, Ace of Cups, so there's still very much love for you on his part. So I do think energetically the fact that he hasn't let go of you also complicates the situation. Ace of Cups, again, that kind of wanting a fresh start, wanting a new beginning. So there are very much still feelings of love here from him for you, which you may feel psychically, energetically as well. And that there's something in here about him not being able to let go of you. That can be very difficult when that's, if you feel like you're sort of trying to let go of someone and they're not letting go of you. But this also can be a hopeful energy for the future, in that they're wanting a new beginning and see emotional fulfillment again connected to you. She's feeling very insecure with the Moon card. I know we had this card before, for not this particular card, but this energy where she is normal. I know she's strategic by nature, but I feel like what I've picked up on energetically from her lately is feeling unsure and feeling insecure. Maybe it's because it hasn't the lack of connection between her and Akshay is understandably is like triggering, if that, and is making her feel insecure on a deeper level, yeah. And also in the dark, the Moon, I always see it's like you feel very much in the dark. Yeah, absolutely, as a Taurus, yeah. So she's still in a place of insecurity. I feel like this tells us about Akshay's emotions, still feeling connected to you and still wanting something with you. You're being forced into this placement of solitude and isolation, which is really difficult, but there's some important insight to be gained from here. I still feel like it's coming down to a lot about what you want. Being pushed out of your comfort zone. And then we end with the Eight of Swords, which is about overcoming, I think, these mental struggles, Janavi. Okay, about feeling so in your head. The Eight of Swords is, I think it's like this clarity that you will gain, that will come. So now you're kind of, I feel like, really in the middle of it, feeling very up and down, feeling conflicted, wanting to make a decision and get clarity that the timing it's not happening yet. Okay, so it's wanting to feel certain, maybe, I feel like, from you, that that, right, I'm done with it and I will move on, or okay, this is happening and I'm just going to go for it, and wanting that clarity. The Eight of Swords is about really putting ourselves mentally in a prison of our own making. And I feel like this is getting clarity with swords, because this is about our mind and getting to the truth, and the truth will set us free. And in the traditional deck, there's a woman who's tied herself in knots, who is blindfolded, who isn't really able to see the situation clearly because their thoughts have ran away with them, yeah, when your mind just gets on top of you. And this is getting that clarity, I think, Janavi, that you're searching for, that will come. And that you just need to be maybe more patient with yourself, to be kinder to yourself, to not try to fight the feelings as well. If you have those emotions for Akshay still, don't try to resist them and fight them as much. Try to allow them to be as much as you can. I know that's a big ask, but I feel like some kind of clarity is on its way to you, and you are going through this. The Death card represents a really deep transformation. So you will be really a different person when you emerge from this situation, whatever that outcome will be. So understanding the gravity of this situation, the depth of this, okay, the emotions that you felt and this journey that you're on. And ultimately, I think sort of being pushed out of a comfort zone, however painful, there seems to be something positive that will come from this. So try to see this period of solitude. Maybe don't try to push yourself out of this and feel like that you need to not be in this period of solitude, whatever that might look like. Understand that you're actually gaining some important insight and on your way to clarity with this. There's 2 major arcanas here, 3 major arcanas here actually in this 6 card reading. So I hope that offers you some comfort as in what to do and how to deal with this situation. Clarity is on its way. Try not to put so much pressure on yourself to move through this quicker than how this will unfold, okay? That tells us about them, and this tells us about what you need to do. Clarity will come. Clarity is on its way, and this period of solitude is important for this insight and this clarity. And you will be able to free yourself from this kind of mental torture. So I hope that offered you some comfort, Janavi. So we have Tia Bia next. So guys, anyone who's new here, or just so you know how it works, for any paid readings, the link is in the pinned comment, and that will obviously bring you a queue jump and take priority. And then I'll go back to the free 1 card readings and just work through everyone in order as time allows, okay? So I'm just bringing up TB's question now. Okay, I've got your question, Tabia. Janavi, oh, I've got that connected for you, Janavi. Good wishes from us all. Yes, Jean, best wishes to Janavi. You will get through this, Janavi, you will. So Tia, just give me a shout. I've just read your question there, so thank you for that. This is your free card reading. Take a breath, center your energy, and be open to the messages from Spirit that you need to hear. This is regarding your Leo. Let's see what the cards say. Their energy, guidance for you, and likely outcome. Ace of Swords, they've got something to say to you, Tia. Yes, this is for you, Tia. I've read your question and saw your 3-card payment, so thank you. This is for you. So this is their energy, okay? Your Leo. Ace of Swords is, they have got something to say, so I do see communication coming through. Ace of Swords is like new beginning energy. It's clarity as well when we see the sword, so really kind of finally coming forward with speaking their truth. So I know that you've had a disagreement, and I feel like this is them saying whatever still, you know, has held them back from communicating up to this point. It's kind of reaching that point of needing to have a fresh start, clear the decks in a way, like cut to the truth of the matter and get off their chest whatever still is obviously sitting there. I know you said it was kind of a petty argument, but this seems to have stuck in their sort of craw for some reason. This is, I don't know if it goes deeper than that, or how they got triggered in some ways, Tia, by this argument. But Ace of Swords tells me a shift, and that you will receive some clarity with this person, okay? And they feel, so this can be current energies or new energies, but on the brink, future energies, but on the brink of that, of them coming forward with you with clarity. Now, it might be delivered in a bit, there might be still some frustration and even maybe anger there, because swords can be quite harsh in the way that it's communicated. But it will shift the energy, and it will bring you the clarity that I think that's been missing. Something small that seems to have developed into something bigger, Tia, like it seems to have rolled on longer than it should. The Hanged Man, this is Major Arcana for you. Tells me that this has got you very much obviously in your head as well with the Hanged Man, because it's Major Arcana. So again, that kind of something maybe that's small, that's rolled on too long, so is getting you in your stuff, you know, your issues, understandably. How was the connection prior to this, obviously this kind of disagreement? Was it peaceful? Was it on rocky ground? What kind of relationship is it that you've had? The Hanged Man, anyway, is about, there isn't a lot that you can do, okay? The Hanged Man is someone who is in the traditional deck who's really tied to this post upside down, and they're in an uncomfortable position, okay? So this is you. It's like you're in an uncomfy position, but there isn't anything that you can do more. This is about needing to change perspective in some ways, getting a different understanding, a different viewpoint. I know that you said that if you should move out, if you should reach out. And I feel with the Hanged Man that I would probably say that this would, obviously free will, I don't think you'll get the answers or the response from what you want. This is a more accepting energy and being still. You were trying to start anew, but his friends kept interfering, okay? I feel like this communication and this clarity, okay, it needs to come from him. Yeah. So that's completely in your rights, Tia, to say that. I feel like you're in a difficult position, but more action from you doesn't feel like the right thing to do to me in this situation. I don't think you'll get the result that you want from it. Again, it might be a bit more like you putting in the effort, okay? They do have something to say to you, timing wise. Don't do, exact dates and predictions and things like that. But this is when I do readings, I do current energies or near future. So I feel like that this is on the brink of happening soon. And I feel like it needs to come from him this time around here. It's like setting the tone, setting the pace. Maybe that's the perspective shift that you need to see about kind of waiting this out, is actually that you're saying, I'm not going to put the more effort in. The effort has to come from you for him to really communicate that he wants this and wants to resolve this. And I feel like by you pushing and reaching out to him to try and break that silence, it's just more effort coming from you. So this however difficult it is, this hangman energy is about actually being centered and still, and seeing that in this inaction that you are reiterating that message, which you were right to say, about like, more effort needs to come from you. And then we've got the Nine of Swords, which is about your worst fears being unfounded. So try to manage if you're having anxieties about this, being that like he won't ever reach out again. Maybe that's kind of worst case scenario energy for you, Tia. This is Nine of Swords is about managing our anxieties and not really buying into them. It's not a good place to it's not a good place to make decisions from. I do with this, I see him coming forward with this Ace of Swords because he wants to communicate to you, okay? It feels positive by nature when we see an Ace of Swords, okay? It's not, look at all these beautiful flowers and clarity, it's a good feeling. It brings good energy to this tea, okay? So when they come forward, they'll have something to say, but I think ultimately it'll have a positive outcome. It doesn't feel negative by nature to me at all. This is a really beautiful card with really good energy. So like I said, I see him coming forward. You need to manage your anxieties, not make decisions or actions from that place. Nothing ever really good comes from that. So do what you focus on yourself at the minute. Try to bring your energy back. His friend came to me yesterday and interfered again, adding to my anxiety, okay? So can you distance yourself, bring your energy back to you? I feel like you need to focus on things that bring you back to yourself. Meditating, going to the gym, self-care, whatever that looks like, to try to manage these anxieties, okay? Because it does tell me as well with the Nine of Swords that it will be unfounded. So I feel like your mind has got the best of you, and it's making you spiral, which happens to us all. But we can only try to put efforts into saying that this isn't, I'm not almost seeing things clearly because my judgment is clouded by my anxiety. So hold your water, okay? You're in a difficult position, but protect yourself, draw your energy back in, manage your anxieties, and wait for this Ace of Swords to come through. And this is the information that you've been waiting for and the clarity that you're wanting, okay? Okay. Hey, Anne. If you just want to pop your like in the chat and wait for me to call you. So we'll go back to the free card readings now. Aisha, are you still here, my dear? I'll move on if you're welcome, Tia. I do see you, you know, like I say, getting kind of what you're hoping for, but you need to wait this out. I think Aisha might have left. Move on. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to sort out the chat here. Okay. Like I say, if I call your name and then you're not here, I will just skip, just because it's to get through as many people as I can. If you would like a guaranteed reading and a Q jump, link is in the bio. Link is in the pinned comment even. Aqua, are you still here? Aqua. No. Nandana. Kelly. I imagine maybe a lot of people have left. Thanks, Anne. Thanks, Eco. No, Kelly, I don't think. Monica. Back to the Frida readings now, Mary. Yep. Judite. Thanks, Jean. Oh, hey, Kelly. Could you just pop your question in the chat, Kelly, again? Just for anyone new here, thank you so much for being here. If you want to subscribe and pop your like number in the chat, and have your question ready for when I call. Kelly is here. And I don't do yes no questions, so I do energy readings. Hey Judite, so I'll read you after Kelly. No worries, Mary, absolutely. So Kelly, pop your question in the chat, please. So if guys, when I call your name, just have your question ready. Okay, so are you in no contact with your sun, Kelly, I'm assuming? As you around this Christmas? So Kelly, is that right? Are you in no contact with your sun? The more, guys, with the readings, even the one card readings, the more context you can give me, the more personalized reading that you can receive, okay? It helps you understand why the cards come through. Let's see what energy is happening. So, Knight of Wands energy. This is your sun's energy, Kelly, okay? I still see with this Knight of Wands, okay, some defensiveness here, okay? So if you've had, I'm assuming, had some kind of disagreement, okay? This is someone who, interestingly, there's a couple of messages here, okay? Because the Knight of Wands is someone who, Wands is about movement and change. So I feel like that there will be, like it says, some movement and change here. The dust's being kicked up. But there is still some feelings of defensiveness, of anger even. Just with all this fire here, this orange energy, Wands is ruled by the element of fire. And in this deck particularly, it's like this, very guarded. So message from Spirit is that I see that yes, there will be some movement, some contact, some connection happening here at some point. So around Christmas time, if that's when you're when communication is maybe obviously that you're hoping to connect over the holidays and plan to meet up, and that will bring in communication and movement, yeah. But the reception to that you can expect to kind of enter into, I feel like this is maybe you already kind of know that this is where they're coming from, but it's going to take some time and patience to work through this Knight of Wands energy that is still coming through from your sun, which feels like defended and feels that there's some anger and frustration here. Now, obviously you know the ins and outs of what this is about. If it's possible, just to allow them to have this space and this energy. It's like you can't go up against this or really challenge this. It will just push their boundaries up further, anger them further. So when someone's coming forward with this energy, you sometimes just need to allow them to be in that, okay? To be angry and to be frustrated, and that they need to communicate with you. They need to communicate that with you still. So I don't know if there's someone else in the picture here as well, and that's kind of drove them into this more Knight of Wands, if that's having some kind of influence. Sometimes it can be that if someone's in their ear trying to, who is maybe toxic and trying to meddle in your relationship and separate them from you, that could be the case. Take what resonates with that, or if it's something specific that's happened with you. So I'm not saying that it can't be resolved and overcome, but you just need to be prepared that that's kind of what energy they will be coming through with. But if you can just allow them to be heard, and don't try to resist this or change them or stop them being angry and hurt and defensive, then that's kind of your best chance of them actually moving out of this. In his ear, yeah. Because it feels like that. It feels like an influence, okay, that he's not quite seeing the situation clearly and has fixated his, for some reason, his defense and anger on you. Very difficult situation when you know that someone is trying to separate and isolate someone from their family. It happens more often than not, yeah. So I'm sorry, it sounds like a very difficult situation, Kelly, but this it does sort of talk of movement anyway, which is hopeful. Movement and communication, challenging communication, but the opportunity here for resolution if you're talking, yeah? If you're actually being able to communicate. And I suppose the goal must be for you, I imagine, is just to see them and reconnect with them and get them back in your life. And I see the best way forward is not to sort of challenge them back, even if they are misguided and misled. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, Judite, if you can pop your message in the chat, please. Hi, Judite. You're welcome, Kelly. Tricky situation, to say the least. I think Judite will be typing, so just wait for them. Let's see who's after Judite, just for so you can be ready. So we've got Judite next, then we have Mama Travels, if you are still here. Mama Travels. Ivo, I think you might just be here, but if you want a question. And then we have Mary the Aries. I love that rhymes. So if you guys can have your questions ready, thank you. Thanks, Judite. The energy of my mother towards me regarding the heritage left by my father's death. Wow, okay. I want to take this top card. Five of Cups. So this is about some kind of loss. This is a card of loss and disappointment, Judite. So this is your mother's energy surrounding this. So with the Five of Cups, okay, so you'll have to take what obviously resonates with this, Judite, because I don't know the ins and outs. I imagine this is a complex situation here. Five of Cups is about the loss and disappointment of a situation not working out how she had anticipated or wanted, okay? Three Cups knocked over, representing spilt milk, yeah? A situation that is lost and gone, and maybe that's to do with your father and wanting things to be different. and how things have worked out since then, even as well. Things she feels, for whatever reason, okay, you'll know, but feeling disappointed with how things worked out. However, two cups do remain, which represents really hope and talks about potential of the future, and still something being salvaged from this situation. So do you feel, Judite, obviously share whatever you feel comfortable with, that loss and disappointment, does that make sense about where that's coming from? What's that driven by? Somehow the outcome not being what she anticipated, or not being what she wanted. No problem, Ivo. I really appreciate you being here in your presence. Now, the Five of Cups as well is about needing to not dwell on that as well. So I don't know if she's someone who has a tendency to dwell, or maybe just around the situation, sink into that, when an emotion really, or a situation really gets a grip of you. Some people do this more than others, but have difficulty moving on, in essence, and dwell and ruminate. It's almost addictive to ruminate sometimes on these negative feelings. It's like prodding at a wound, yeah? It's like painful, but there's some kind of strange comfort and reassurance in that. It feels safe to stay in that place of disappointment. Your sisters dwell. Yeah, it's like fear of asking for more, or fear of disappointment. It's safer to stay in the disappointments that you've already had, and not wanting to, not taking the risk to go for more, yeah. And this card comes with the advice to, you need to pull this is your mother's energy, really needing to pull herself out of that and look to actually these two cups that still remain. There is still something left here. There is still, more chapters to come, or there is still something to be salvaged from this situation, like something that she has actually gained from past situations, something good out of something bad, maybe. She's not aware of the legal processes. Okay. So it is a card ultimately of hope, but the main feeling and advice being that sense of loss and disappointment, and needing to pull yourself out of that and really kind of force yourself to look at moving forward and pushing forward, and actually what remains. Maybe, with you and her relationship with you and her daughters, like this is, the ins and outs of the details, but she needs to focus on the two cups that your sisters are manipulating. Okay, that's hard. Siblings can be very tricky. So I hope that offered you some clarity or insight, Judite, with that sort of complex situation, as much as one card can. Mama Travels, thank you. Hey Rhonda, thank you so much for being here. Better late than never. I'm glad that you made it. So, Mama Travels, you're welcome, Judite. What does Spirit want me to know right now? Mama Travels, this is for you. Give me a shout out if you're here. And then we have Mary the Aries, if you're still here, if you want to have your question ready. What does Spirit want you to know right now, Mama Travels? Okay, Rhonda. I don't know if Mama Travels is still here. I don't want to read for someone who's not, so I'm just checking. Or Mary the Aries. If not, I'll go back to the list. Okay, I'll go back to the list. Right. Aisha, are you still here? I'm glad you're feeling the good energy, Rhonda. Hey, Kelsey. Just trying to see who's here, who's on the list. Eco, are you still here, my dear? Eco 7. No. Oh, you're here, Mama Travels. Okay, let's go for it. Okay, Mama Travels, what does Spirit want me to know right now? Mama Travels, this is about being able to accept help from others, okay, Mama Travels, not trying to do something on your own. Pentacles can be around finances and the practicalities of life, so it can be related to work, or it can be just be something that you are wanting to see progress in, and you've been putting effort in, and you've been putting work in. And Three of Pentacles is about other people around you, and maybe they come from different perspectives, have different ideas. You might even have clashed with a few of people, so this could be currently happening, or it can be new energy. So take what resonates, okay? And this is about needing to work it out and work it through with those people. Could be colleagues, could be family members, could be love relationships. So take what resonates here, Mama, okay? But ultimately, it's about that you have the same goal in mind, okay? Even if you have a different way of approaching it, a different opinion, a different way of going about it, there is something collective here. It's about the collective energy and having the same goal. And Three of Pentacles is about being able to accept help and lean on others and allow them in. And not, like I say, not trying to do this on your own. It might feel like that you're compromising yourself sometimes to accept someone's help or work it out with someone who you kind of don't particularly agree with how they go about things, but it will ultimately make your life easier and help you reach the next level, this goal quicker, by accepting help and working it out, working it through with those around you, Mama. So I hope this resonates for you. Like I say, it can be current energies or it can be near future. But what is that goal that you're trying to reach? Try to let others in to help you get there. Anne, are you still here, my dear? Anne Franklin? So Rhonda, if you'd like a private reading, the link is in my bio on my Shopify store. So I do one-to-one Zoom readings if you'd like to do that, or I do video, just a private reading sent to you via video, that you can just watch at your leisure if you prefer, Rhonda. So if you prefer something private, there's a couple of different options of readings there. Mama, that message is definitely spot on. That's good. Yeah, the spirit's been telling you this. Okay, I'm glad that resonated, Mama. Hey Anne, thank you for being here still. Sorry, my phone is dinging. Insight into the emotional energy surrounding Reneel right now. Back to no contact again, yeah. You're here, Anne. Yeah, absolutely. This is for you, Anne. So, is it D-Roof? No need to repeat your question. If you just want to hold on, I just read people in order. Okay, D-Roof, so thank you so much for being here. But just please don't clog up the chat with repetition of questions. It just makes it harder for me to find where we're at. But Anne, this is for you. No problem, Rhonda. No problem at all. Anne, can you provide insight into emotional energy surrounding Reneel? Let's go. Ace of Wands. This suggests movement and contact, Anne. No, Rhonda, I wasn't, sorry, that wasn't directed at you, Rhonda. It was just D-Roof with the question there, so that wasn't directed at you, Rhonda. Yeah, so no worries. Anne, so Ace of Wands, this is, like I say, Wands energy is about new starts and new beginnings. So I know we've seen a lot of hot and cold from Reneel's energy, yeah. A lot of back and forth there from him. So this feels like that this is like going hot again, okay? This Ace of Wands is about that new beginning, new contact, new starts. Wands being about passions, being about heart's desires and wanting to reach out again. So I know you have been kind of round this cycle, haven't we, Anne, about them being very hot and cold, and that's, Ace of Wands again, it's like that potential stage. But I don't know if you've been able to it's almost like coming back to the start, 2 steps forward, 3 steps back kind of energy. So I still see that going on, them essentially coming back through Reneel, okay, and then reaching out, you're having contact again after, another period of, say, no contact, and them coming back round. I don't know if this is as well, like, do you meet up, or is it more just communication, via text, Dan? Obviously, just share whatever you're comfortable with. But this can be about like having a strong physical attraction here, and it almost being just with one sometimes can bring up like player energy. Sometimes can be a red flag for that. So again, it comes back to you and about it, the sort of ball being in your court. Once again, this kind of back and forth of this cycle being repeated. Yeah, lots of hot and cold. So I just see him continuing that still and come back in hot and then probably go cold again, hot, cold again, which, no doubt will mess with your head. But at the minute, and then so free will as how you want to respond to this. And if you do want to respond to this, but there's almost this kind of like feeling of like guaranteed energy that he's always going to come back. Via text mostly, yeah. So free will is, I suppose, what you want to do with that energy, Anne, yeah? But it can really mess with your head, obviously, if someone is doing that hot and cold thing. So Rhonda, I hope you got that message from me as well. Guys, so I am going to end the live now. For anyone who I wasn't able to read for, I'm sorry that I didn't get a chance to get through to everyone at busy times. It's not always possible. I will be back on tomorrow. So just watch out for the confirming time. It probably most likely will be midday UK time again. First come, first served, or if you would like a private reading, the link is in my bio, or you can book ahead to get a guaranteed reading through the 3, 5, or 7 card options, which is you can see in the pinned comment, gives you a Q jump. Yeah. You're welcome, guys. Thank you so much for being here. So love and light to you all, and hopefully I will see you all again tomorrow. But wishing you a great day. Sorry, Diruv, it's just not always possible to get through everyone, so I just keep reading until the time's up, essentially. Okay, like I say, I started at 12, so I do an hour and a half sessions in general. You're welcome, Anne. So I'll be back on tomorrow, Diruv, if you want to join us then and get here as early as you can. Or like I say, if you want a guaranteed reading, there is the Q Jump link in the pinned comment, or private reading in my bio. But thank you everyone, guys. Thank you. Love and light, and I will see you all tomorrow, hopefully. Take care.